now rocking with TDF everything. Spoiled Rotten.
Spoiler alert.
Welcome and welcome back, everybody.
Hey.
It's me, Daniel,
And this is Ben.
on Spoiled Rotten. And today, we're back to spoiling X-Men 97.
That's
Enough
right,
of that
baby.
Superman stuff. We are going to be spoiling episodes 5 and 6 of Season 2.
Mhm.
One of them, episode 5, is called Weapon X Lies and DVDs. And this is interesting because I don't think I've ever actually had to say this out loud. When you see that extension for episode 6, Danger dot, do you say EXE or do you say Danger.x?
EXE.
Yeah, see, that's what I say. But I've been very self-conscious leading up to this record of like, what if I say EXE and everyone laughs at me?
Well, I mean, there's people that say GIF instead of GIF. And those people are also wrong. So
Yeah, including the person who created it. I know he's like, it's supposed to be GIF, but I'm like, then spell it better.
yeah, it's just, and this is my big thing. So I've backed off of this because I've grown up, but like when I was in my 20s, I would never pronounce an abbreviation as a word for this one reason. So when it got to me saying laser, it got real uncomfortable because I'd have to go like LASER. And people would be like, are you saying laser? I'm like, yes. It's an abbreviation for light amplified whatever.
It's an acronym, right?
It's an acronym, yeah. Sorry, not abbreviation, acronym.
I was like, wait, now I want to hear about this abbreviation.
I'm using the wrong word here, but
I wasn't even challenging. I was like, wait, do I
Yeah.
not know what an abbreviation is?
No. You definitely have a better command of the English language than I ever will. And so whenever you correct me, I'm like, yep, I'm immediately in the wrong.
I mean,
But in
you
this
might-
situation, I believe it's danger.exe.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, those are the two episodes.
Yeah.
No, there is no. I guess that's not even true. But on the whole, these are apocalypse light episodes.
Yes.
They are very character based, which I
Mhm.
like.
Yeah. I know a lot of people are saying that they are throwaway episodes. I do not believe that is the case. I think they slow down on the overall season's plot,
Mhm.
but that's okay. To, like you said, to focus specifically on character development and character, because like Weapon X Lies and DVDs, it clearly focuses on one character, but really highlights its spotlight on someone else too. That I'm like, oh, this is really fantastic because we're starting to get to the real conversations within this relationship, and I think it's a really good episode. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, we can start with episode 5, the title you just said. I think my initial reaction to this was like, oh, I guess now I'm not certain they were fucking before. I was all ready to believe that Wolverine and Morph were having sex, but this episode made it feel like that's not true.
Really?
It made it feel like, I could be wrong. It really made it feel like it was something Morph would like to have happen, but has not happened.
Correct.
But in
Oh,
season 1,
I see what
I
you
would
mean.
have been like, no, they just have sex, and it is one-sided in who thinks this is just a friends with benefits thing. But
Right.
now this episode has made me like, I don't think they have.
I actually am on the opposite side. I
Okay.
actually think this episode cements that they've been fucking, and this is Morph's way of being like, hey, I want feelings involved now. Like, I don't want to do this just for you because it gives me some validation. I want some feelings involved. And I'm like, good for you, Morph. Good for you for saying that. That's what it makes me feel.
I would be happy if that were... No, I wouldn't be that happy if that was because then Morph would be sad. I mean, he already is sad, but
He is sad,
at least
but, yeah.
I'd like for him to have the sex it seems he wants to have with
Yes.
Logan. But yeah, you know what? It's sad either way. But
It's sad either way, but this way and we're jumping all over this episode, that's fine, but the way the episode plays out, to me, I'm just like, oh, you stood up for yourself. You said what you wanted. You were vulnerable. you connected, and it's with someone that doesn't want something else. So to me, I'm like, oh, this is actually good for Morph. It sucks that they're not together and get to be that way and all that kind of stuff, but it is good that they really just stood up for themselves and being like, I will not minimize myself for your convenience anymore. To me, that's a win.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to see how that plays out, even if it's not in this season, but in future seasons.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can go beat for beat now. I just really wanted to say that. I thought that I was just like, I guess I'm not sure now. And I'm not even saying you're wrong. I'm not sure anymore. Before I was like, oh yeah, for sure there. Okay, well, this starts off with a team where I was like, I don't know who the fuck these people are. I obviously know Lady Deathstrike and Sabretooth, but I was like, who's this Garrison Kane and who's Maverick? Like, what is this? What are we doing here? I had built myself up for seeing people I know. That's not the case here.
Yeah.
They are Weapon X characters, but it's just, I don't think Lady Deathstrike is, but for the cartoon purposes, I guess it doesn't matter. She's there for her dad's legacy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was definitely a bit taken aback when the episode started, and I was like, I don't know two of these characters, and I wish I did.
I was convinced we were going to get the Captain Canada crew together, because that was
Alpha
in an
Flight?
episode. Yeah, Alpha Flight, yeah. I was very convinced that we were going to get that, but then we got this, and I'm like, oh, this is interesting.
It's fine for what they want to do, to be clear, but I was just like, why would Sabretooth go along with this? It doesn't matter. Like, I know that the episode gives you the, I guess, reasonable doubt, or what do I say? Like, there's enough to suspend disbelief, because you're like, yeah, Sabretooth wants to kill the people that fuck with him, so he'll work with Wolverine. And when Morph is describing him, he's like, you guys want to kill each other, but also don't know how to leave each other alone. So,
it's very much enemy of an enemy thing, combined with the Dark Knight thing, where it's like, I don't want to kill you, you make life fun.
Yeah, except for he does take a chance to try and kill Wolverine.
He does want to kill Wolverine. But I feel like how much of that is just because I'm like, no, you can heal. Like, I'm going to do this now to you.
Yeah, I agree with you that there's got to be some element of, I know this won't actually kill you, but at least I can enjoy this.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are being gathered under the lie that they're looking into Weapon X scum doing more experiments in a lab. And I'm just going to say it now, like, Wolverine just wants the adamantium back. Yeah. And I was like, oh. People have said this happens too soon. I'm like,
does it, though?
I don't feel that way. I feel like this is episode 5 of a 9-episode season.
Right.
I wouldn't care to have this be a prolonged thing.
But also, within the context of what they're experiencing, we got to remember that it's been months that Wolverine has been trapped in the future, and they only just got back and all that kind of stuff. So, is it too long? I don't think so. I'm with you. I'm less like, no, this makes sense. Plus, it's just like, I meant too short, not too long. If I said too long, sorry, I said the wrong thing. I don't believe that Wolverine would be effective in a fight with the Bone Claws against Apocalypse. I just simply don't.
Episode 1, we saw his claws would break all the time, and it looked very painful.
Yes, and it was very painful. It was the idea of like, no, I understand why Wolverine wants to do this. I disagree with his methods, because, like you said, the ruse that Wolverine creates is, hey, let's kill Dr. Abraham Cornelius.
Yeah, but anyway, so that's why they're together, and I like that Sabretooth is just like, to Morph, do you care about Weapon X, or do you just love Wolverine? Like, wait, the setup is, or are you Wolverine's pet? And I like that Morph deflects. He does not answer the question at all. He's just like, no, the only pet here is your suit. Like, your stupid suit looks like it's roadkill. Right. Like, well done. He does it better than I can. But I was just like, okay, so this is what's top of mind for this episode is Morph, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You gotta leave this guy alone.
Morph.
Yeah.
You think it's a Wolverine episode? Nope, it's a Morph episode. And I'm like, that's awesome. It's great.
So yeah, after that, a bit of fun, the helicopter that they're in goes down because a bunch of, like, I guess I can't call them mutant birds because they're all mutants, but
well, I mean,
mutated
called
birds.
mutated birds.
Yeah.
So
Mutated birds fly into the helicopter and they go down. This, I know people, we won't be the first ones to talk about this, that this is very clearly an homage to a bunch of 80s stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yes, there's a lot of aliens, The Thing. The helicopter felt like Predator to me.
Yep.
But I was just like, okay, all right, they've crashed. I did not for one second consider that Wolverine could be up to something when he just wasn't on screen. I was like, oh, they just haven't found him yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're like immediately attacked by. Oh well, sorry, I should mention Garrison Kane's dead.
Yeah.
At this point, Morph wakes up and Garrison Kane is dead. And then is it him and Maverick that have to fight the polar bear, mutated polar bear thing?
Yeah,
I guess
so,
that is definitely a polar bear that's been affected by the bird.
Yeah, so
that's not mutation.
I mean, that's after they overly complicated find each other again and then decide they need to split off. But then there's trust issues with Wolverine already.
No. This is first. The fight with the polar bear is first.
I thought it was second. Okay, but either way,
he wakes up. Yeah. He's like, "Oh shoot,
right.
Garrison Kane's dead." I wish he had like a superhero name. Garrison Kane seems so clumsy. It's kind of like Jean Grey, where I'm just like, I'm not calling you Marvel Girl.
Yeah. It's a branding issue for sure.
Yeah. Okay, no, it's just the polar bear coming to get Morph, and Sabretooth saves the day in this case. And this is where Sabretooth is like, oh, because Wolverine comes into the fight as well, and that's where he's like, whoa, you don't have any adamantium. Again, some nice seed planting here of, I wonder why he's here.
Yep.
And I did, again, I wasn't really paying attention. I was like, why is he being so weird about this? He's like, this is nobody's business but my own. I'm like, I mean, you got the adamantium ripped out of you. I don't know how you could, like, it's a very obvious thing whenever you put out your bone claws. I don't know that you can really hide it, but I see now what he was trying to hide. Now I've seen the full thing, but I was just like, what a weird response to this.
Yeah, Wolverine's not so good with the thinky through of how he's going to manipulate everyone and all that kind of stuff. Which is why, like, the whole thing starts falling apart. It's, like, me as a viewer, I'm just like, oh, they're not focusing on Wolverine. I bet he's doing something shady this episode.
See, you were a good viewer. I was just like, I wonder why he's being like this. So they get into the facility, and as you've already mentioned, this is definitely a Morph episode because he's the one that's trying to get a plan. And Wolverine's like, no, we can just keep going. Don't worry about it. And he's talking about like different exit bays and stuff. And he's like, we just keep going deeper down is how we get out of here. So don't worry about the obvious thing of just let's leave. Let's just keep going.
I do agree with one thing that Wolverine said. It's just like, hey, we're here to do a mission. The mission comes first, and then we figure out how to leave.
Yeah, he's like one problem at a time.
Yeah, that actually made sense to me. The problem is he kept talking. And I'm just like, it's devolving so fast in front of everyone right now. You're bad at this, Wolverine.
So yeah, we kind of get this thing where we can see these dead bodies. And I know that it's just a way for them to remind you of who Sabretooth has a son who's like a grown-ass man.
Right.
And that he later confirms, I stopped counting at 200 years old. But yeah, he kind of like puts his claws in a dead body and sniffs them, and that's where Morph's like, yeah, when I heard who your son was, I was like, oh, no way. But now I get it, and I'm like, do you? It didn't seem like he was being that malicious.
Right.
It was, I guess it was thoughtless, but that's a bit different than I am pretending I'm not mutant and I want to kill all mutants. But yeah, just another reminder of who Sabretooth's son is.
Yep.
And we get confirmation of Lady Deathstrike being like, oh yeah, and I'm here to kill Dr. Cornelius because he's perverted my dad's studies. Okay. They do meet up with Dr. Cornelius.
Yes.
And he's talking. They let him talk for so long.
They do. So long.
And then the Brood changes him into whatever. But I think first Lady Deathstrike is just going to kill him.
Yep.
And Sabretooth is like, no, he's mine.
Yep.
Kind of like a get in line thing. And I'm like, just stab him at the same time.
Yeah, just team friendship. Like,
You're with Wolverine, he's not going to stop you.
Trauma bond over it. Like, like do the thing that everyone does. Just get in line. Because he's got more than one life. Ridiculous.
Yeah, so the Brood thing happens, and they're all like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" And Wolverine's like, "Yeah, don't worry about that. Morph and I will just keep going." Mm-hmm. And Lady Deathstrike is like, "I'm not letting any two X-Men work together. Yep. We're splitting you guys up.
Split y'all up." Maverick goes with Wolverine, and then Deathstrike, Sabretooth, and Morph form their own thing to turn the power onto the facility.
Yes. Morph is like, oh, I think he injected him, because they don't know about the Brood just yet. They just saw him transform. So Morph has like, I don't think we have to worry about this being like an invasion. I think this is just he injected himself. And you're like, wow, sorry, Morph, you got that wrong.
Yes, he did.
So I can hear myself misgendering this person. they got it wrong. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have to work on that. Okay, so that's when they go off. Lady Deathstrike's talking to Morph. She uses the Tomo,
yes,
allegory for Morph, saying it was a shape-shifting fox who would do anything to help their samurai. And I, for whatever reason, really like the line delivery of it. Doesn't go well for him, just so you know. This obviously being, if we're going with your interpretation, two of Wolverine's past and future and present lovers. So they have an unspoken bond there. As Morph has already pointed out that they know Lady Deathstrike and Wolverine were a couple. So it's at least top of mind for him, or for them. So I wish there was more of the Tomo stuff. She says it a bunch, but then Morph is like, all right, just what are you doing? What is this?
Yeah. Stop calling me out right now. That's not what this is.
And this is where they find the titular DVDs of Weapon X program.
Yep. A whole bunch of Easter eggs that characters will understand and recognize. They're just Easter eggs. It's not going to actually lead to anything big or anything like that. And if it does, it's a cartoon. They can draw whoever they want. So it's cool.
And if it does, I'll just rewatch it and be like, oh, nice. But this also gets into people upset as they watch the videos of how they were fucked with. I guess it's mostly just Sabretooth seeing it. But he's definitely like, all right, I'm ready to fight.
Yeah, this guy's got to go. Got to kill this Cornelius fella.
And in the videos, in the DVD, Cornelius is basically talking about how they're trying to mix the Brood with their Weapon X experiments. And this is because it gives them the ability to essentially just control whoever they want. There's a complete loss of memory and identity once a subject is bonded with the Brood. I did see people call this out as well, namely Nando V Movies, but other people as well. In the DVD, they just say they don't know if adding adamantium would work. It may, that's all they say, actually. I'm even putting too much on it by saying the second part I was about to say. The only thing that said is we don't know what would happen. This gives more of the idea, like, it just will kill them. And he's right. But it is kind of like, oh, that's a leap of logic.
It's a big leap of faith, and a lot of it comes down to, I think, the Lady Deathstrike Tomo conversation of, like, you'll do anything for him once he figures out. It's like, yeah, he wanted the adamantium claws. Let's give it to him and all this kind of stuff. And he is very, very liberal with how definitive the DVD was about, like, oh yeah, it's gonna definitely kill them and all that kind of stuff. because they did not say that
No,
in the DVD
that
play.
was not said.
Yeah.
But before they get to that decision, they are attacked by just normal brood,
Yes.
which is important because it feels like what they're getting across is that Morph understood that there was a moment where the brood was in their head and made a decision of, oh, not this person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not going to be merging with this person. So even though Lady Deathstrike saved Morph, it was very clear to Morph that I don't think they were going to merge with me.
Right.
Leading them to be like, so obviously they will merge with Wolverine. That is the best case scenario for them.
Yeah.
And I think that is where they're like, oh, sorry, no, there's so much more that they have going on here. Before that, they find Omega Red. He's in a tube, and they're kind of like, well, but hope that doesn't come back to bite us later. But it obviously will. And Maverick shows up, and it's like, Jesus, no, this is the most overt Aliens reference, where Maverick just comes going, it's game over, man. Which felt very out of character for whatever accent he was doing. But I understand the reference, and it was well met. So basically, they're showing that Maverick can fight, or at least has some skills, because it would stand to reason that he would just be dead if Wolverine was turning on him. And he made it out. But he's like, yeah, we gotta get out of here. Wolverine, there's something going on with him. And Wolverine is revealed to be just mixed with the brood. And there is like a fight with Sabretooth and Lady Deathstrike. I guess they're splitting their efforts between the brood and Wolverine during this time. As I said, Omega Red is woken up. And I was like, I just feel like that should be the end of it. But he goes directly for Wolverine, and that's, I guess, enough time for Morph to switch into Deadpool and take them off. And I was like, yeah, this is what I was thinking. We were going to actually get Deadpool, but I understand it might be hard to try and cast that role. Yeah. They didn't even do it. I feel like they didn't even have Deadpool talk in the original run of the cartoon. So
they did not. They just had him on screen.
There just must be an idea of like, we can't touch that right now.
Yeah.
They're Sabretooth in particular is like, see, I was right. Like, there was something up. He's part of the brood. I was right. We didn't see him before. We saw him. He did it. And obviously he's here for the adamantium, because he wasn't where he said he was going to be. We found him near the like adamantium like stations. So this is obviously upsetting to Morph, who would have thought there would have been some kind of trust with that kind of information. But I've seen people on threads argue there was no chance to give that information, since Wolverine wanted to break off with just Morph, and they stopped that.
That is incorrect. They had the entire trip over there to be.
Well, you can't do that in front of everyone.
I guess that's true. But
that's what I mean. Like, there's no alone time.
Right. Okay, that's fair.
I mean, unless they flew to get all those people alone. But I like that layer of, there is still a possibility that Wolverine would have shared the actual plan if they were able to get that time alone.
Right.
And that he wouldn't do it before they got there, because he wouldn't want to get talked out of it. Or get a talking to for trying to do it and deceive people. So I like that complication. I don't know if that's in the script, but I feel like they have a good writing team, and that is a possibility. That's a nice little wrinkle to it, that he just never got the chance to say it. Obviously you would want to do that beforehand, but it's in line with his character. Like, well, I don't really want you to give me pushback, so if I say it when we're already there, there's less chance you can push back on this. but yeah, that's the I like how they're pushing Morph to really consider how they relate to Wolverine, or what type of hold, if any, they actually have over Wolverine. Because yeah, Sabretooth and Lady Deathstroke are like, you just can't be loyal to this guy. He sucks.
Yeah.
Let's just go. And I do like that Morph is still like, even like, we still need to stop this, because if we just leave a Brood mixed with Wolverine, that could end the world in a week.
Yeah,
basically. So we need to actually stop this. Which I do think goes under the whole like Guardians of the Galaxy bit of like, yeah, I still live in the world, so I don't want it to blow up.
Yes.
So that's how they get those people on board. This is where Morph was like, yeah, we should just let him have the adamantium, because the video even says that it'll kill the Brood. And I like your interpretation of, at this point, he just wants Logan to be happy, or that they just want Logan to be happy, so they're gonna go along with this and say whatever.
Yeah, because, and I think that's the whole, like I said before, that's the whole Totoro or whatever Tomo conversations, is like he's literally willing to do anything for the samurai. In this case, it would be Wolverine, and you know, he logic just so happens to be on his side with this whole argument, for sure. But it's just like, yeah, you're positively reinforcing some shitty behavior here, bud.
I like Morph's plan to get Wolverine into the adamantium case.
Yep.
They morph into Cyclops and make a couple of very laser focused jokes about if you don't behave, I'm gonna tell Jean and give her extra smooches tonight.
It's really funny the way he did it. It was so good.
I saw the image of Cyclops making the ooh face when Wolverine comes out before I saw the episode, and I was like, no, this has to be a joke. Like, and once the episode started, I'm like, oh, it's definitely Morph as Cyclops, because I was just like, that's not how Cyclops would look in the show. And then I was like,
takes himself too seriously.
This is good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that does draw Wolverine out for sure. And this is where I definitely, I was already feeling bad for Morph, but I definitely feel bad here even more when morphs back into Morph to attempt, hey, calm down, come on, it's me. And that does nothing, and the Brood Wolverine just stabs Morph right through the chest. It is only until morphs into Jean that Wolverine Brood is like, oh my gosh, Jean, no, what have I done? Which would be particularly galling, since the DVD was like, they don't have any memories, or they don't have any identity.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah, this one does.
You are wrong, scientists.
I have to imagine there's some element of his regeneration powers.
That is fair. That's more than fair. That's why they sent him back in Days of Future Past.
I would imagine that it has to do something with that. But I just felt so bad for Morph. I'm like, dude,
oh God, I feel so
you gotta understand now.
Yeah,
I understand that there's other parts where Morph is challenged, but for me, that would be it. That would be the nail in the coffin.
Oh, 100%.
Like, you only care if I turn into Jean.
Yep.
And you're not even supposed to care, because you're not supposed to have any memory of who you are or who this person is.
Yeah.
And that's still cut through to you.
Yep.
But yeah, he gets stabbed. Wolverine goes into the adamantium, and Red Omega comes back. Omega Red, what's wrong with me? I'm just tired. Omega Red comes back, and there's a fight, and right when it looks like it's not going to work, my favorite part is morphing into Spider-Man.
Yeah, that one part was sick.
But it didn't work. Oh my god, it's like I'm just gonna get you and kill you. I don't know what you think you're doing. Gets him. Wolverine gets out. Doesn't kill Omega Red, but fights in a way that stuff drops on Omega Red.
Yeah.
So they can make their way out. They just blow up the facility and lock a lot of the Brood in there. I'm assuming all of them.
Yes.
I shouldn't assume that. It feels like you could use the Brood later, so maybe one or two got out.
Maybe, but it's pretty
they don't show
neatly
that.
wrapped up. Yeah.
The idea is that you feel like everything's wrapped up. They get out, and this is where I feel most people are in on this relationship is Morph being like, "What's your deal?" Or no, it's Wolverine that says, "All right, say it." And I really like this writing. If you're asking me to say it, then you don't need me to say it.
Yes. That was such a good line and such good delivery from Morph's voice actor.
Yeah, I was just like, I would never have thought to say that.
Yeah. That I am putting that in the back of my head. I'm going to use it at the most opportune moment. Because that is such good line delivery, and it's so true. If you need me to say it out loud, then you actually don't need me to say it out loud. You know what I'm going to say.
And so, yeah, Wolverine is kind of like, yeah, I just have to be this.
Yeah.
And more importantly, Morph, I'm not like you. You literally can be different things, but you are, in fact, yourself.
Yeah.
You contain multitudes in a way that I don't see myself containing them. And there's something about, like, I was more asking, so you're just an animal with claws? And Wolverine says, yeah, that's what I'm best at. And again, great line delivery of, doesn't that make you sad? It makes me sad, Logan. And then walks off to sit with Lady Deathstrike, which some great animation because you can see her. Well, come on. I'm not going to say I told you so, but
yeah,
you're Tomo.
Yeah, told you, you're Tomo. Man, what a great conversation between the two, because this is my moment of being like, yeah, Morph, you finally have had enough of Wolverine just blatantly using you for everything from emotional support to physical affection to all this kind of stuff, and treating you less than, and the fact that morphed into Jean in order to get through to Wolverine just cements every part of that to him, to them. And yeah, I gotta get better at that too. It to me, when Morph goes like, I feel sad for you and all that kind of stuff, is definitely my interpretation of that is like, yeah, you stood up for yourself. You're choosing yourself over Wolverine right now. And I'm like, good for you. Good for you.
I mean, yes. But he doesn't say I feel sad for you, which I think is the important part. And
yes.
the good part of it, which is finally stating how he feels about this arrangement. So he's just asking, aren't you sad? Because I am, which is good. Less of a, well, I feel sorry for you for being like this. It is just about him and how he feels. Or it's just about them and how they feel. So that is good stuff.
Another thing I thought about this is the idea of like Morph and Wolverine, this being like a discussion or a brief insight, a scratch on the surface, if you will, of like toxic masculinity and those roles and gender roles and all that kind of stuff, and then Morph obviously not falling into those norms, and having those back and forth discussions. That to me was really, really interesting about this episode as well.
It's a strong episode.
Yeah.
Unfortunate that we do live in an ecosystem that brings conversations like, is this a filler episode, to the top, when there was cool moments and also some very interesting, not overly complicated, but complicated emotional things going on as well. Or I guess more involved than you would think.
Yeah. Because like, I could accept this episode being called a side quest. I cannot accept it being called a filler episode, because I'm just like, how is this a filler episode? In the sense where, again, my point is that there's no way that anyone can make the argument that Wolverine is as effective with bone claws versus adamantium claws when fighting Apocalypse. Like, that, there's just no way anyone can make that argument to me.
From my point of view, it would be irrelevant if he was effective or not. It's about how he sees himself and what he thinks he needs.
Right.
Which makes it a good episode to me, because you're going deeper with a character, or you're not just giving him cool fighting moments. You're showing his vulnerability and his self-doubt.
Yeah. Another thing about this episode that I thought was really, really cool was there was, especially with the Brood attacking them in the first place when they first meet Dr. Cornelius. I was just like, oh man, this is such a good visual representation of what it would be like to play one of those like video games where it's like hacking the hack and slash video games where you're like playing with your friends. Like, there is an X-Men game where like you have 4 players and you're beating up all these. I'm like, that scene itself, I'm like, that's a great representation of what it would be like from a story perspective for one level. Like, that's so cool to me. I'm like, that was cool. I like that a lot.
I feel like they do a lot of good shout outs to games.
Yes, they do. But that in particular, I'm like, yeah, this is one of those moments. This is great.
Okay. Episode 6, Danger.exe, which we've all agreed upon is how you say that.
Yep. And if you disagree, you're wrong.
I remember thinking, what was the point of the previously on if we're just doing this again? But
that's what I thought.
It starts with Professor X going through the danger room and running the scenario back when Magneto died in episode 4. But before I knew that, I was like, all right, well, I don't think we're doing this again, but I also feel like it's going beat for beat the same way, so I don't really feel like we need this until the reveal. So that just shows I need better patience.
Well, I mean, I think we all suffer from that now in the age of instant gratification.
But yeah, he's trying to have a therapeutic moment, and I like that the Danger Room's AI is just like, no, it very clearly seems like you want to be stronger. And you're not getting better, so I will apply more, because at a certain point in the Danger Room, Apocalypse actually steps on Professor X. Hey, what are you doing?
He's like, hey, this isn't part of this. This isn't supposed to happen. Stop. I'm like, what the hell?
Like, no, this is what you want. He's like, no, I'm not looking for training. I'm looking for therapy. She's like, nah, you're an idiot. Yeah. This is what you want.
I like that the program was like, I appreciate the clarification. We'll do it your way. Yeah. I'm just like, what?
But yeah, Professor X is pretty much just like, I don't even really care about the Apocalypse thing anymore. I'm more worried about having to live in a world without Magneto. I'm like, you should care about the Apocalypse thing too.
You should definitely care about the Apocalypse thing.
It's probably less important to you at the moment, but you should definitely care about it, because if Magneto can't do anything, you probably should be worried.
Yeah, especially because I'm just like, oh, so you're gonna let him die in vain now? Like, what are you doing here? Like, come on, this isn't the first time you've been at war, Xavier. Get your shit together.
He never will. Actually,
he never will.
He has a good moment in this.
He does have a good moment
where he actually can outmaneuver, but we'll get there. We get I'm sure Stryker is in the original cartoon, but I was like, oh, Stryker in the Purifiers, where I always have to remind myself, right, in the comics he's like a preacher. I'm like, no, just be Brian Cox again, please.
I like the Brian Cox one. The Brian Cox William Stryker was cool.
But yeah, this is comic accurate. William Stryker,
who is a
priest.
They've
got some mutant killing weapons. Polaris comes to stop it. I mean, X-Force, but Polaris is leading this. Havoc is nowhere to be seen for the moment, and I do not know the name of the... I thought that was Wolfsbane, but I'm very clearly wrong about that. And Strong Guy. But this is a Polaris moment. Yeah. And they're trying to really push the whole, she's Magneto's daughter
which
people.
I keep forgetting.
Yeah. So it's already like out there that they're like, yeah, of course, you crazy Magneto daughter, you're just really crazy. And I'm just like, this is wild stuff. But yeah, she's trying to stop them, and she's got them in the water at one point, and she's showing off. And Val Cooper's like, those are humans you're doing this to. How dare you? I don't actually want to hurt humans.
Mm-hmm.
You could only do this to mutants.
Mm-hmm.
And Polaris has the right things to say of like, what are you talking about? They are terrorists. We need to stop them. Yep. And she's like, nah, just don't do that. Mm-hmm. And so she's like, fine. And she leaves it. She's like, you deal with them. I'm going to take the ship with the weapons. Mm-hmm. But then they still shoot at Polaris, and she throws the ship at them. And I'm like, 99% sure, like, she's going to kill them, right? Like, she's not trying to scare them at that point.
Yeah.
But Havoc saves the bad guys.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know he's Cyclops' brother, but it seems like a real Professor X move.
It is a Professor X move.
Because one thing I know
fucking centrist.
One thing I know about at least the X-Men 97 version of Cyclops, he wouldn't do that to save the humans.
I agree. I respect Cyclops more than Professor X in this universe.
Yes. So yeah, that happens, and Val Cooper calls Polaris into her office, and she's like, why are you like this? Because I'm trying to save people. And she's like, yeah, but you're kind of going a bit much on the humans. And she's like, I'm not going to tone it down. I need to save mutants. I need to save my people. They don't get into it directly in this, but there's very clearly the like, well, you know, you sound like your dad. And she's like, I'm not getting into this.
Yeah.
Man. She's like, well, just because we share no, they said you sound like Magneto. It's like, oh, why? Because we share a power set. And Malcolm's like, come on.
Yeah,
you like, share more than a power set.
The only reason you have half his DNA. So, like, what are you talking about?
So yeah, she's basically like, all right, well, then you're fired.
Yep.
She doesn't say fired, but you're dismissed permanently. Is I think the way she puts it. And then they have this interaction with Havoc where I'm like, yeah, I saw some people saying that like Polaris helping Jubilee in episode 2 made Havoc want to be better, and I'm like, I didn't see that. I just saw him being like, yeah, all right, well, you got caught. And this kind of proved it, where he was like, yes, I'm never going to stop saving the humans. He didn't. Again, I'm just getting to the root of what they're saying, which is I'm never going to side with you on your tactics. I'm just going to keep doing this.
Yeah.
But do you have any? And I like that they added the whole, but do you have somewhere to stay? Which I did believe was him being like, you can stay with me. Not in like a creepy way, but just like, we are teammates. You can stay with me.
Yeah.
And she rightfully was like, there is a safe place. It's like anywhere you guys are not. But she meant the X Mansion.
Yeah.
So then we see Professor X again tricking me because it is a danger room simulation, but it looks like he's just doing a welcome to the new and improved Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters. And no, they'd probably already done that, and now he's testing them with Sentinels breaking the roof off of the thing. While that's happening, Polaris comes back and she goes to her old room, and that's where she sees Cyclops, Jean, and Beast. And they're nice. They have a lovely time hugging each other. They got some jokes for each other. I didn't know about Polaris before like they showed pictures of her in the lead up to this season. So I was just like, I know that people who actually read the comics and are about this life know that she was an X-Men, but to me, I'm just like, you weren't around. But obviously she was. Like, she obviously was, but I'm just like, nah. This is the wrong group of people that are greeting her. It shouldn't be like the original X-Men greeting her. It should be the second tier, like, Nightcrawler, Storm people. I feel if she's Magneto's daughter.
Right. Yeah.
But I guess she could still be their age.
Yeah. The only reason why I know that Polaris used to be was because I rewatched this the original run, the original series in its entirety, and there was this episode with Iceman and Polaris because they were romantically together and all that kind of stuff. And that's the episode that Bobby leaves the X-Men and Polaris goes with him. And that's I'm like, oh yeah, you were an X-Men. Cool. You just
Well, that's the thing. I wasn't like, you're not actually. I was just like, I don't want this. It in my head canon was a retcon when it very clearly is not.
That's fair.
Then we get into it for real, which is Professor X and Polaris talking, and her making it clear, I don't see Magneto as a father. Yeah, I see you as my father. You actually took me in when I needed it. And Professor X, I wish I could give him the benefit of the doubt, but I'm just like, you just wander around because you miss Magneto.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, no, don't worry about it. I love your dad. You should love him too. And also, if you want to just keep doing Magneto things around me, that would be lovely.
Man, Professor Xavier has the worst therapy here because he just does not want to move on. Like, I feel like if Xavier was a real human being, I'm like, oh, you would be one of those people that uploads an AI of their dead relative and talks to it constantly. And I'm just like, oh, you would be so emotionally stunted. Like, what are you doing, Xavier?
So yeah, that's kind of thing. And then he's like, anyway, I'm going to Genosha. It felt like I was only able to watch and take notes the one time, so maybe you have better details, but it felt to be like the assumption was like it was just him, only for some lines that happened later.
Right.
It's like he had like half the team with him.
No, he does say, hey, by the way, tomorrow a bunch of us are going to Genosha. You should come.
Good.
Yeah.
She said no to that interest, I guess, because she's like, I don't give a fuck about that Magneto guy.
Yeah, that's why. She's like, no, like, I'm not doing that. You clearly want me to go because that's where Magneto was, and that was his thing.
So yeah, she's in the danger room. Or no, that she's outside, and Morph kind of just shows up because is Forge with Storm when they're outside with Polaris? Either way, Storm is having a form of a reunion with Polaris.
Yes.
And Morph comes out and they're like, hey, something's going on in the danger room. We have a problem. And I couldn't tell like what was going on. What I mean is very clearly some kid was having a reaction and couldn't breathe and they needed to bring that person back to life. I was like, is this part of the Danger Room's plan, or did that just happen because the Danger Room was going overboard in general?
I think the Danger Room was going overboard in general.
Because later is the plan, where like they're all in there, and then Forge is like, oh my goodness, there's a perimeter breach. That was the Danger Room plan, but I was like,
yes,
this is so weirdly close to this kid that I'm like, was that part of the plan too? Like, I'm gonna get everyone together, then I'm gonna split them up because they already were split up at one point. But
well, I mean, yeah, because the students getting hurt was Polaris's fault because it's like it happened because the Magneto thing got brought up again, and she just lost control of her powers and then hurt a kid.
No. She ran in with Storm to see the kid on the ground and Bishop trying to resuscitate them.
Wasn't it because like she did something that created a magnetic field or some shit like that? Or whatever.
No, like that. I mean, you could be right. Actually, I don't know why I'm saying no with such certainty. I just in my notes later on she loses control,
right?
Because she's pushed by the Danger Room AI.
Yes.
But the reason I was confused is because it feels like Morph is just saying, hey, there's an issue and the kid needs to get help. And that's when they're like, oh, okay, good, we sorted that out. And it's like this meeting for Bishop and Polaris, which I liked as a team of just like, I'm from the future, you're from like the past of the X. I wasn't like, ooh, I ship them. I was just like, I like them together. Like they have like this begrudging like respect for each other, but also they can learn from each other. I like them as a team. So that's what seemed like is happening. And then that's when Forge gets the notification and starts like, I'm going to go with him. You stay with Bishop because he doesn't know what it's like to be a student here. And that's when Blair starts using powers. But before that, it felt like it was just like this incidentally, a kid got fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, to be fair, I remember because the danger room just like sealed them in and moved the door or something like that.
Yeah, and that happens after Storm and Forge leave.
Yeah, yeah. And we did miss something. That Xavier promotes Storm to headmistress. And then we barely see Storm this episode, which I'm like, that's such an Xavier move. Like, fuck.
Well,
you,
it's not
man.
his fault. That's
I know, but
really
it's just one of those things where I'm like, God damn it, man! Give Storm more airtime. Like, she's my favorite. Like,
yeah, I mean,
that's just a me
has
thing.
No control over that.
Yeah, I know that, but yeah. Storm's headmistress. Yay.
Yes,
that's pretty cool.
And yeah, so they're trying to help the kids during this situation. And they have the whole shoot first, ask questions last back and forth, where she's like, "Oh, are you really? That's what you want to teach the kids?" And he's like, "If you don't shoot first, where I'm from, there is no future. Like there's no ask." And then later on, when he shoots, when they're trying to actually fight the AI, she's like, "Honestly, yeah, that's a good way to be in this situation." But it becomes very clear that the danger room is inside of Bishop and Polaris's brains and bringing up past failures or traumas for them to make them not as effective as they could be in this fight.
Yeah.
Basically, this is what you were talking about. At this point is when Polaris is like, I'm going to go, like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to shut this all down. And the danger room is kind of like, oh yeah, this is the power I needed. Thank you. And I'm gonna steal your ship. Bye-bye.
Yeah. And I'm gonna take a human form, just like Ultron.
Robot form.
Yeah. Like, a humanoid form. But like, like
I think
Ultron.
at that point the AI is just calling itself Danger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that is apparently a comic book run that the Danger Room does become a character of itself called Danger. So I'm just like, okay, that's cool. Just don't like who wrote that run.
Oh,
it's Joss Whedon. But, yeah,
that's too bad.
Yeah,
I mean, I do know that people like a lot of his X-Men run, but
yeah,
it's I forgot he
him
existed.
as a person.
Yeah, no.
What a poopy person.
Don't
get me wrong. I love what he created. Buffy. Freaking love Buffy. Man, that guy's a rat bastard.
Agreed. 100% agreed. So yeah, they're gone, and then they're like, oh, she's heading to Genosha. And Forge is like, well, we can't go because then it'll look like a way, like the X-Men are moving around. And I was like, but an X-Men team did go. What do you mean you can't go?
Yeah, it's weird because
that's
it's
why
like...
I was like, he really just said it. As you said, he was like, yeah, a group of us are going. I'm like, then what is Forge talking about?
Yeah, and I think we missed this part, but the Cooper part of this is, and actually no, a few episodes back to the original X-Force episode and all that kind of stuff with Jubilee, they were like, yeah, the X-Men have been banned or outlawed or whatever. So it's just like Ford saying this after Xavier has gone with his group of people, because Xavier goes to fucking with Cyclops, Jean, and Beast. I'm like,
that's what I'm saying. It's like,
you're gonna tell me that's not X-Men? That's the OG crew from this. Like, this is stupid of Forge to say. It was stupid of them to do it, to be like, hey, we've got a ridiculously large amount of resources. Do you want to take different planes, and in that way we won't get accused of going together as a team?
I mean, I guess he's saying, well, you can go Polaris because you're not actually an X-Men.
Yes.
And for some reason, Bishop's like, yeah, and I can go. And I'm like, well, can you? I guess. Yeah. I thought you were an X-Men, but I guess, whatever. Like, again, I don't know what the point of, well, we can't all go was.
Yeah, it's a...
Feels like you've got...
It's a silly thing.
You got, like, a god that can control the weather. Like, just put some clouds up. all go.
Yeah.
No one can see inside.
Well,
But anyway,
you've got a freaking Xavier who would just like make
People
just
forget.
gaslight everyone. Yeah,
Yeah.
just like, hey, yeah, we were never here. Like, ooh.
he'd probably be susceptible to that now that he's grieving the loss of Magneto.
Right?
So he'd probably be like, yeah, I'll do that.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, he's like, at this point, you should be willing to bend some of those ridiculous morals and ethics that you got there, bud.
Well, that you claim to have.
Yeah, that's right. That he claims to do as I say, not as I do.
So yeah, Charles, Jean, Cyclops, and Beast are, I guess, just paying their respects to the fallen at Genosha.
Mm-hmm.
And Danger comes and attacks them. And Beast is just like, I don't even know what's going on with him. He's just like not a factor in the fight.
Yeah.
I love the professor's like, I don't know, use your computer watch. Like, you clearly can't do anything here. I was like, what?
It has
Doesn't
been
he have
so
strength?
It is so weird how ineffective Beast is. When I'm just like, no, Beast is a decently good fighter.
Yeah,
and all that
I
kind of
was
stuff.
so
It's just like, why are
confused.
they nerfing him to this degree? Like the people that are like, the Hulk got nerfed. I'm like, no, the Beast got nerfed. Like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah. So yeah, Jean does the cool thing from the trailer where she uses her, like, I don't know what you call them, the kinetic powers to
The
make
telekinesis.
telekinesis to make Wolverine blades, and I was like, wow, that was not effective at all. But they really made that look cool in the trailers.
Yeah, and then you
and then
see
it
what
happened,
she's
you're like,
actually
oh.
doing with it. You're like, oh,
That didn't work.
go teamwork. That's kind of cool. Didn't work, but it was like, okay, that's where you're going with
And
it.
that's what she's like, yeah, we can't do anything.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, honestly, Professor X has a great, like, 10-second run in that
Yep.
fight.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, you outmaneuvered Danger. Like,
Yeah,
because to be clear, we didn't say this out loud. They're aware that they can't do anything because
Mhm.
Danger knows all of their moves. There's nothing
Yes.
they can do to surprise her. So
Correct.
that's why I thought it was especially interesting when he was able to outmaneuver Danger, because
Yeah.
presumably she would have saw that coming, but she didn't.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And then Polaris shows up.
Yeah.
This is where Professor X is just like, you don't need to contain it. Like, you need to actually just embrace it and let it loose on everybody. Again, I still think it's because he's like, and then you'll be like Magneto and I'll be happy.
Yes.
But it is an objectively good pep talk of, this is, you don't need to be afraid of who you are. Like, tying in the whole, like, well, I don't want people to think I'm like my dad. And him being like, nothing wrong with being your dad.
Yeah. He was a lot better than you think he is.
Yeah, he's better than me.
Yeah.
And I love myself. Yeah, I like that. And again, Bishop is there. He's like, and don't worry, I'll get the overflow of power. And it's like, what was Forge talking about? And so yeah, she does overpower Danger.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a happy ending for them.
It is. And I will say, that little 10-second showdown fight that Professor Xavier has gave me so much vindication, because my entire life, I looked at that yellow chair that he sits in, and I'm like, why is it that high-tech? Like, it's got to have some defense mechanisms or something in there and all that kind of stuff. We've just never seen it. Like, that's what I've always thought, because I'm just like, the movies make a good point of it. It's like, yeah, see, the rest of the time he's usually in just a regular wheelchair that he moves with his head. What's the point of having that yellow thing? And then
here you go.
And here you go. I'm like, vindicated. He's got rockets in there. It's got escape mechanisms and all that kind of stuff.
Pod element.
It's pretty sick. It's more than just a high-tech computer. I'm like, no, okay, that's pretty cool.
And I should say he was also like mind melding with Polaris to give her what I feel like he said he didn't have at the beginning of the episode, which was like memories of, or like the presence of Magneto.
Yeah, because he was just like, oh, when we connected, like part of him went into me. I'm like, that's not what you said at the beginning of the episode, but okay.
You're like, I don't feel him anymore.
Yeah, and then
like, that's what he said out loud to Polaris. Like, I don't feel him anymore.
Yep.
Well, you just said that you're giving her your whatever you had left of Magneto.
Yeah, and then now after, when you really don't have any of them left in you anymore, it's just like, yeah, you're not so whiny about it now, so I don't get what's going on here. But his move was a political move because Xavier has another plan.
Oh, before that though, this is they win, and they both acknowledge that now they feel Magneto again.
Yeah.
And I think that's important because it is a proper acceptance of all of herself.
Yes.
As opposed to, making decisions that have you be on ice.
Yeah.
Or the mutant version of ice.
Yeah.
And now she can fully embrace the right type of stuff. But yes, this is where Professor X is like, hey, I know what we have to do now, and I was not expecting this. I was like, what? That's what you need to go through this to be like, let's just set up in Genosha with X Corp?
Yeah, baby, international waters.
How didn't you think about this before? Like, I don't know what happened that made you think of this.
Well, in all fairness, he was still living with his weird, fucked up form of therapy, where he's just like, no, let's just keep reliving my best friend's death over and over again. So he clearly wasn't moving anywhere. He's like, no, I'm clearly stuck somewhere.
Yeah.
And after that, immediately he gets the idea, and I'm just like, see,
I don't see
need
the
to
A
get
to
off
B
your ass.
outside of what you said, which is, I guess, giving him a lot of credit that he would be smart enough to come up with this if he wasn't too busy being being human and upset about his best friend dying.
Yeah, because it's not that smart of a plan. You
said this like you had this amazing plan.
Yeah, it's just like, no, you just decided to go to international waters and do illegal shit there. It's just like, and that's
immediately Valkyrie's like, I'm gonna get them. What are you talking about? They don't, you think you can just go somewhere else and I'm not gonna come for you? I'm coming for you.
How dare you beat me on a technicality?
She didn't even talk like this. She's just like, this is a stupid move. I'm just coming for you.
Yes.
This isn't, you didn't even you don't even have 1 second of me thinking you beat me on a technicality. I'm just like, oh, now you're moving. I'm gonna get you.
And you've told me exactly where you are.
You did a big press conference. You came out of hiding, and now I'm coming for you.
It's not like you created a space station where you're completely off of Earth and therefore like the most international of international waters, where you could do whatever you want there. It's not like you did that. It's like, no, let's go to Genosha. And I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. But I mean, to be fair,
I like the outfits.
The outfits are cool. Yes,
but that does feel like
really
the Joss
cool.
Whedon run outfits.
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
it does. But the idea here is like, okay, well, if they're in Genosha, it still serves that same purpose that the school did, where it's like a safe haven for mutants to come and all that kind of stuff.
You just reminded me how I felt when he was like, and now we have X-Corp. I'm like, so what happened to those kids you said were going to be safe now that you've all moved? And also, is that why you let the black woman be in charge? Because like, we're out of here.
Xavier's terrible. He's terrible. What the hell is he doing?
I was like, yeah, Storm, you can be headmistress, and we will definitely be here to support you, and it will be just like normal. Anyway, bye. We did X-Corp in Genosha.
And we're taking all the funding over here now. You get nothing, and you get a broken, busted down building.
It's not even fully built. You're right.
Yeah. It's like, good luck, Storm. Here's that promotion you wanted, which is, God, I hate Xavier so much.
Yeah. Anyway, then he brings them into a room, and he's like, but don't worry, I didn't forget about Apocalypse. I'm still worried about him. Now that and everyone just looks at a screen of like a wireframe of Apocalypse. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, man, what? Why is this conversation happening now? Shouldn't this have been the first thing you guys discussed?
Yeah, but and that's my point. This is why I dislike Xavier, because like if he's just sad or whatever, he stalls everything else from happening.
I guess that was him in season 1 of X-Men 97 too. He's like, oh no, I'm partying on a planet. Oh wait, I guess I should go back. Gambit died.
Yep. That's exactly. And so just to me, I'm like, this has more claim to being a filler episode than anything else, in my opinion. It's clearly not, but it has more of a claim to being a filler episode than the previous, the DVDs episode, Weapon X Lies and DVDs.
I don't think
either of them
that's
are.
true.
But
when I say I don't think it's true, I mean it's not an episode focused on someone you like, but it is doing more to move forward what they were doing than the other episode.
That's fair. It is my bias showing through of how much I dislike Xavier to be like, no, his stories suck.
I like episode 5 better, but I'm just saying I don't think this has more of a claim to being a filler episode. It is moving things along pretty rapidly.
Yeah.
Then we have, which, I mean, I'm glad it wasn't a post-credit, but it feels like a post-credit, which is Apocalypse bringing Gambit back to life as a horseman.
As Death. I like that added touch of like, oh, instead of playing cards, he's got tarot cards now. That's cool.
And one of the first cards on screen is Death. For people,
it was like...
It was Grim Reaper, but I don't remember the 3. There was like 2 or 3 that showed up.
I do. So it was, the 3 that showed up was Death, the Tower, and the Lovers.
Oh, well, so I don't know what that means.
The leading theory right now, not from a tarot standpoint, but from like a plot standpoint, is that the Death is going to attack the Tower looking for a rogue. Rogue was not even a part of this episode, and which is weird.
No, Nightcrawler, Rogue. I mean, Storm had her time in episode 1, but Nightcrawler and Rogue have definitely been put to the bottom of the priority list. In this season.
I would assume that the next few episodes are pretty heavy on Rogue if they brought back Gambit.
If they're doing Gambit stuff, I mean, we're not in the writers' room. Maybe they are like, no, we'll save that for next season. But it does feel like if you're bringing him back, that's a good time to put her back in the spotlight.
Yeah. But Nightcrawler, he's hasn't had that much spotlight.
I still was really happy with him in those episodes 3 and 4 where he's like, hey, by the way, not everyone thinks this is a good idea.
He is being very effectively used. I just wish they were using him more. I will also say, low-key a little bit disappointed at episode 5 for not having a custom intro thing the same way X-Force did and all that kind of stuff.
They have Forge in there, and I love that Forge title card.
The Forge title card is great. I was just
amazing.
Like having Sabretooth, Lady Deathstrike, Maverick, and Garrison Kane having their own thing. Like that to me is like, oh, that's what we're doing this season. That's sick. Like we're doing different episode cards.
They do have customized cards, but it's not like X-Force. And
exactly.
It wasn't character specific like 1 and 2. I should say 1 and 3 and 4.
Yeah,
because 2 is the X-Force one. So.
Yeah.
Whatever, but I agree with you that they're not like that, but they are customized.
Yeah. It's just a missed opportunity here. But back to Danger EXE. Yeah. Gambit's back as Death. As one of the horsemen. So that's fun.
Hope there's other interesting horsemen and not just the like generic people. I want cool people.
Right. I
guess what I'm saying is I want Archangel.
Archangel ain't never gonna go back.
I know.
But because wasn't Archangel like the stand-in for Death?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
He was supposed to be Death. Right?
I just know that he has been one, but they've already done that. That is already assumed in this season that know that he was already a horseman.
Yeah. He Death, Pestilence, War, and Famine.
Yeah, those are
or something like that. Yeah, those are the 4 horsemen. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. That drummer from the past was supposed to be Pestilence because apparently those sounds give off cancer.
Yeah, but only while he's drumming. Like it's not like you stick with it. And he is I like that. Unlike Supergirl 1984, him being a Confederate soldier is the reason why he's a horseman. Like, you're a piece of shit. You do this.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
We did it. Gambit's back as Death for now, but we can only assume that he'll go back to Gambit
I hope
at some point. Because that would be rough for Rogue if she just had to be like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch you die." They could
just not write her into any of this season, and then we won't know if it's rough for her or not.
That'd be is so terrible.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to how this all plays out after I think they've got their like table setting episodes out of their system. But next time you hear from us, it won't be for episode 7. We have Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Yeah, baby!
So that will be next episode. Then we will do 7 and 8. And then most likely 9 after that.
Yeah.
But
then we gotta throw Superman in there at some point.
Yeah, we do have to finish that. And Cape Crusader is back on July 31st as well. So there's going to be new stuff coming out.
Yeah, lots of good stuff coming out, for sure.
All right, well, the best way to find out when all that stuff is coming is to go to tdfeverything.com/spoiledrotten and connect with us there. But you can also follow at TDFSpoiled on Instagram, Threads, YouTube, TikTok, and email spoiledpodcast@gmail.com if you have thoughts, feelings, and concerns. All 3 of them, though. Don't just give me one. And then,
and
please.
none of them about how we pronounce EXE.
Yeah, none of those. Actually, I kind of want to know. I
Yeah.
know in text how you figure that out.
Oh,
but,
God. You're going to get so many voice notes.
Perfect. Yeah, give me those voice memos. Yeah, but, you know, it would help us out a lot if you would rate, review, subscribe, share, follow, and do all that good stuff on the podcast platform of your choice. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Cheers!
This has been a TDF Everything production, brah.